Roberto Firmino stays. With Roberto Firmino entering the final 6 months of his current Liverpool contract, the Brazilian's manager has indicated when a decision will be made about the forward's future. Joining the club in 2015, Firmino is now in his 8th season with Liverpool and has been integral to all of the Reds' success in recent years. Jürgen Klopp has made it clear that he wants to keep Firmino at the club beyond this summer. The player himself went on record saying that he wanted to extend his stay at the club. Firmino's manager, Roger Whitman, gave an update on his client's contract negotiations and claimed we'd probably know the outcome at some point this month. There is a long relationship between Roberto and Liverpool. Roberto is at ease. We are in a big shift right now, and in February we will probably know where the journey is going. But Roberto also needs to have a say in finding a deal with Liverpool. We are on the right track. We have really good talks with Liverpool. They are an outstanding club, he told Sky Germany. Whitman's comments suggest a new contract is still on the cards for Firmino, despite his links to clubs in the Middle East and most recently Inter Milan. Firmino, now 31 years old, may have left his peak years behind. But he has still been a great addition for Liverpool this season, scoring 9 goals so far in 2022-2023. The Reds are expected to make many changes to their roster ahead of next season, and they need to renew their squad, especially in the midfield. But despite the arrival of several attackers in the past year, Klopp is still willing to continue Firmino's services and has recently insisted that Cody Gakpo's arrival will not affect his future. The number 9 Liverpool player is currently sidelined due to a muscle injury. Klopp suggested last week that the forward is expected to return to training in mid-February alongside Virgil van Dijk and Diogo Jota. According to information obtained from sources close to the club, negotiations with Firmino are at the final stage. It is said that an official announcement will come soon. Of course, it's understandable that Klopp didn't want to keep Firmino on the team that long. There was great excitement when Darwin Nunez was transferred at the beginning of the season, and it was said that Firmino's chances would decrease. However, the Brazilian star was not affected by this transfer and, unlike last season, managed to put on an impressive performance. Now, with the transfer of Gakpo, the same things are talked about, but Firmino's game intelligence and thoughtfulness are not in the cast. Gakpo could draw a close profile to him, but losing a player of Firmino quality would be pretty hurtful. The Brazilian striker has never played to his pace, so it looks like the effect of his aging will come later. For Klopp, the fact that he's been productive in acting in different variations is reason enough to keep him on the roster. Bobby Firmino can make the transition well in Liverpool's overhauled squad and show the newcomers a way forward. Shock injury development at Liverpool. Injuries have been the biggest problem for Liverpool this season. Sometimes Klopp almost couldn't find a player to play, and that situation still hasn't changed. The biggest factor in the team's form decline since the beginning of the season was the long-term injuries of the main players. Unfortunately, these problems still persist. According to the latest information, another name has joined the caravan of injuries. Liverpool central defender Ibrahima Konate has suffered a hamstring injury and is expected to be out of the field for up to 3 weeks. Liverpool's treatment tables are very busy at the moment, with as many as 8 primary squad members injured or ill. These include star forwards Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota, as well as central defenders Virgil van Dijk and Nat Phillips. Now Konate has joined them, another big blow for Jürgen Klopp. Konate's 3-week absence means he will miss his next 3 Premier League games and potentially the UEFA Champions League last 16 first-leg clash against Real Madrid. Wolverhampton Wanderers, which Liverpool will play in this process, will miss the Champions League against Everton, Newcastle United and Real Madrid. Considering the injury from Van Dijk and Phillips' illness, losing Konate, which the Reds had to contend with in a series of key matches, is another big blow. This means that only Joel Matip, Joe Gomez and young Reece Williams are available as defender options on Klopp's roster. It's a pretty scary picture given the flow of fixtures, which includes a Merseyside derby against Everton and a high-flying Newcastle encounter that will be full of confidence after they booked their place in the Carabao Cup final with a 2-1 home win against Southampton on Tuesday night. In a difficult season where Anfield finished 9th in the Premier League table and were excluded from both local cup competitions, Konate put on a remarkable performance where none of his teammates had more gaps or interceptions than him in the top flight per game. That said, it will be interesting to see how Klopp sets up without one of his key players against the Wolves on Saturday afternoon. Liverpool's chance to enter the top four is decreasing day by day, and unfortunately, injuries continue to bother the team, which is expected to keep in shape. While talking about Nat Phillips' departure, Konate's injury may make this transfer shelved. Liverpool's strongest start staff after the January transfer window. The January transfer window is over and Liverpool really haven't done as much in the winter window as they should have. They made an early addition in the form of Cody Gakpo and a midfield transfer was expected. But the Dutch offensive proved to be the only new signing for the Reds last month. Gakpo has so far been unable to deliver effective performances for the Reds. And it makes one wonder what Liverpool's strongest starting 11 looks like now. Based on recent performances, in our opinion, Liverpool's best 11 now looks something like this. It's been a quiet January transfer window for Liverpool, who has only signed Cody Gakpo from PSV Eindhoven, but has yet to make an impact on the team. Another recently added name, Darwin Nunez, also didn't make it to this 11 after a shaky start to life on Merseyside. Alisson Becker remains the number one choice at goal as he is one of the most consistent and reliable goalkeepers in the world. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson are, of course, holding their positions at right and left back respectively. The two centre-backs have been a key part of Liverpool's success in recent seasons, providing width and offensive threat from deep positions. When everyone is in shape, the heart of the defence is likely to be led by Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip. Both became the backbone of Liverpool's defence, and Dutch international Van Dijk became one of the best defenders in the world. In the midfield, Jordan Henderson, Thiago and Fabinho will probably start big games when they are all in form. Although the trio have struggled for form this season, Liverpool haven't made any additions in the transfer window and there is no other viable option for Jürgen Klopp. Maybe Stefan Bajcetic, who has come to the fore in recent weeks, can take the helm for the rest of the season despite his young age. Mohamed Salah looks out of shape this season, but it's clear that Klopp won't give up on him easily. He performed well, especially in the Champions League. For this reason, he continues to be an indispensable part of the right wing. Luis Diaz looks unbeatable on the left wing when in form. Of course, with Jota's return and Gakpo's upswing, there might be a change. After making an impressive start to the season, Roberto Firmino is not looking to lose his lead. This current Liverpool squad has proven their worth in the past. While they are not in the best shape this season, they have the potential to be successful once again if they find their best form.